expand, it's about expanding our local food businesses and building a community passionate about the food we grow and consume. I'm Kathy Anderson, Project Event Coordinator, serving as your host for today's virtual training. For the next hour, we will meet with the team, learn about the project's vision and mission, receive training on navigating the platform, then we will break out into groups for networking. We encourage everyone to actively participate, ensuring a clear understanding of how to maximize the platform's intended benefits. Feel free to post any questions you may have in the chat box during the training, and we'll make sure to address them at the end. To kick things off, I invite the project coordinator, as well as a few members of our advisory committee who are in attendance, to introduce themselves briefly.
Everyone, my name is Lana Shahabadeen. I'm sure many of you might recognize me as I've connected to a lot of you. I see a lot of familiar faces today. For those of you who don't know me, I am the coordinator for the Florida Local Food Project, and I currently host our podcast called Fresh Take. I will be conducting the training portion today and show you guys our incredible new network. I'd like to take a moment to also call out some of the advisory committee members who are on the call. So please, Katie Delaney, I see you're on the call, so please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Katie Delaney, and I'm the director of the Fresh Access Books program. And it's just such a privilege to join you all today. And I've gotten a chance to really to see the Hylo platform in action, and I'm just really excited to see where it's going to go from here and where the Florida Local Food Project is going to go. So super excited to be here and to continue expanding local food in the States.
Thank you so much, Katie. So happy to have you on the advisory committee. Kathy, I do not see Erica on the call yet, so if you want, we can just move on, and then hopefully we'll have some time at the end to introduce her.
Perfect. So thank you for your introductions. I'd like to take a moment to thank everyone for their pivotal roles in this project. With your support, you have assisted with identifying key focus areas, key food actors, and continued support with your technical research pieces of the project. Let's launch the poll questions to see what sectors are being represented today. Please take a minute to answer the 2 questions on your screen. The questions being, what stage are you currently at? And then the second question being, which food sectors do you fall in? Wonderful. All of you have submitted your responses. Go ahead and end that poll. We have almost 40% are new to the Florida Local Food Project. With runner-up, another 40% have just joined the Hylo platform, so thank you all. As far as the food sectors, representation today, 11% of you are from farming. We have 6% in the restaurant, 29% entrepreneurs, and almost 60% of you represent an education or nonprofit organization. Now let's discuss the next steps for each group. If you have indicated that you're new to the project, welcome. Head over to the project page, a link will be posted in the chat, and sign up. If you have signed up on the website, check your email to start your journey. And for those of you already on the network platform, you may go ahead and open it up so you can follow Lana as she demonstrates how to best utilize the platform. At this time, I turn it over to Lana to discuss our vision and mission of the network before she dives into the kickoff training portion.
everyone. So at the heart of the Florida Local Food Project, we envision a flourishing, thriving, interconnected local food system. This vision is upheld by our mission to strengthen and form bonds between key local food actors who are actively producing, promoting, and or selling local foods in their communities. Our virtual arm of the project is called the Florida Local Food Network, which is where we envision the start of many of these thriving connections. We also strive to encourage local food to be at the heart of our communities, sparking business-to-business connections and transactions that will make local food readily available and accessible. So let's take a minute to review our 5 community rules, also known as please do's, that will support this community. So on your screen, these are located in the orange box. The first one is always treat others with respect and kindness. We really encourage everyone to practice empathy when using this platform by sharing kind reactions, comments, and messages. Number 2, it is crucial that you are authentic and provide accurate information in your profiles and interactions. This type of transparency really builds trust within the community. Number 3, we want to foster a collaborative atmosphere by offering help, sharing resources, and supporting one another's initiatives and endeavors. Number 4, please keep discussions and posts relevant to local food, on topics related to agriculture, sustainability, and anything related to local. Please avoid spamming and inserting irrelevant content so that local food remains at the heart of this network. Please also provide, number 5, constructive feedback to our network stewards, who we will highlight in just a moment, to let us know what you think about the platform. We really want to know what your input is because it matters in really enhancing the network's user experience. So now I want to take a moment and dive into the actual heart of the project, the Florida Local Food Network. This virtual platform is designed to be your go-to space for connecting with fellow local food enthusiasts, making requests, offering resources, and so much more. I'm excited to walk you through the ins and outs of the Florida Local Food Network. So rather than talk about it through slides, I want us to experience it together. So as Kathy mentioned, if you are already on Hylo, feel free to pull up the platform and navigate along with me, but this is not required. So if you are not already on the platform, don't worry. I'm really going to be walking us through all the steps. So give me one moment as I share my screen. All right, can everyone see my screen? Perfect. So this is the homepage of the Florida Local Food Network. This is really an exciting platform. It's called Hylo. It's an open source platform, meaning that it's completely free and available to the public. Once you're joined the network, you might actually enter into a space that doesn't look like the Florida Local Food Network. And that's actually going to be the Hylo world that exists outside of the network. So Hylo is a platform that other networks and other groups use. And you can actually find those other groups once you click on the top 3 lines on the bottom, the top left of your screen. You'll see that you'll have a public section, My Home, and then all the groups that you are actually a member of pop up at the bottom. So once you click on Public Map, for instance, you'll see that Hylo, once you zoom out of the map and let it load for a second, there are going to be tons of other dots that pop up all across the country and even all across the globe. So this platform, it's really exciting that other folks all across the world are actually using this. So it's actually taking a little bit of time to load. But if you scroll over some of these dots in the Hylo platform, you'll see that a lot of them are ag focused. We have chosen this platform specifically because it was designed with food actors in mind. So it's really has a lot of features that are dedicated to community mobilization. So feel free to take the time to explore this platform a little bit more, see what it has to offer. and look at what other platforms or, sorry, groups that exist in the network. So to come back to the actual Florida Local Food Network, you'll click those top 3 lines on the left again, scroll down under My Groups, and hit Florida Local Food Network. The home page is essentially the stream page. This is your basic feed that you'll see on like other social media platforms. But this one stands out from other social media platforms because it has very specific tools for community mobilization. Now, just navigating within the actual network, you'll always find your right-hand panel that'll have our purpose listed, our group description, and those 5 please do's that we just went over that are the community rules we want everyone to follow. If you keep scrolling down on the right-hand panel, you'll find a list of the members and the group stewards. The group stewards are the folks on our FOG team that are actively checking the platform and making sure that we're accepting people, posting relevant information, and pretty much just making sure that everything is running smoothly. So you're also going to have your left-hand panel that's going to have all of the tools that you're actually going to benefit from, which I will actually be going over step by step each of these and what they actually do. I do first want to highlight, before we get into those, the icons on the top right side of your screen. You'll see that you have your profile. If you click on your the button on the top right side, you'll see that when you access your profile, there are many different things that you can fill out in this section. And I really want to spend a few minutes here highlighting what you should do to make your profile stand out and to make it so that you'll be able to be found very easily by other members in the network, and have it set up so that you have a lot of key information that will act as trigger points for connection. So the first thing is making sure that you have your profile picture. This, number 1, will humanize your profile and will really encourage people to connect with you. So please set up a profile picture, choose a cover photo that represents your business. It can be your business logo, it can be a picture of your farm, a picture of your restaurant, whatever it is that really is going to define and help define who you are once people click on your profile. The next thing is listing your location. It's really important that you list the place, the city that you're in, because on the map feature, you're going to pop up without it, you won't actually show up on the map. So it's really important that you list your city. We also want to highlight your tagline. Right now, we have asked folks to, in your tagline, put the title of your role currently, comma, your organization. So if you are a farm manager from Appleseed Farms, you would put exactly that, farm manager, comma, Appleseed Farms. That way, when you're in the member directory, the tagline is one of the first things that you also see. So immediately you can understand what someone is doing, who they work for, and what sector of the food system that they're in. So that's something that we really want to make sure that you set up properly. The next thing is putting in all of your contact information. So making sure you have a phone number, an email address listed, any of your social media handles that are relevant for your local food business, in addition to a website. If you have a website, please also list that here. This is going to be also really important for folks that want to check out your business products, what you're selling, what you're promoting, and being able to decide if they actually want to make that connection with you. We also want to make sure that you have your about section filled out. It honestly takes just a second to put in, 1 to 2 sentences about who you are, what you do, so that also when people check out your profile, if they're not taking the step to go onto your website, they can see right off the bat, what it is that you focus on. And then also a few other things that people might overlook in the profile section are your skills and interests, in addition to what you're learning. These 2 points are also critical trigger points for connection, because we really want to make sure that this network is a knowledge sharing and skill building community. So if you have skills that are relevant to local food, or even that you might not think are relevant to local food, please list them in here because people might connect with you based on those things. For instance, if Farmer Joe is looking for someone really great at project management, they might reach out to me because I have this listed as a skill. And then, vice versa, if I'm learning something like composting, I also might reach out to someone who is, actively an avid composter. So, or someone could reach out to me with those resources or something that might benefit me. So another thing I want to point out with the profiles is the affiliation section. Some folks might be affiliated with other networks or nonprofits such as Slow Food or other organizations that might be of interest to you. So it's important to also check those out and see if you want to connect, based on the affiliations that someone has. So that pretty much wraps up the profile section. We also have a pinned post in the stream for you to check out in case you forget or not really sure how to fill it out appropriately. So you can always refer back to that post. Underneath your profile on the top right corner, you'll also find your settings. If you click notifications, you'll find a section where you can set up all the notifications so that you can receive push notifications through your phone and also through your email. So if you don't already know, Hylo does exist as a phone app, and it's really great for someone that's on the go. And you can also obviously set up notifications through email as well. There's also a digest that gets sent out. This is a really great summary that will show up in your inbox in case you're not actively on the network checking it daily. You'll receive a really nice summary of what's going on, any big announcements, and you can also choose the notifications through all the different features in Hylo as well. The next thing I want to point out under profile is language preferences. Hylo actually has Spanish as an option to change your chosen language for. And so this actually converts all of the Hylo language in the platform into Spanish. The posts created by other members will not be translated, but everything else pretty much will be. So that is an option for those of you who are Spanish speakers and feel more comfortable with that setting. The last thing I want to point out is the logout option. I keep my profile logged in just so that I can come in and out very easily. But if you ever want to log out, that is there for you. Notifications button obviously is very straightforward. You can see if someone has tagged you, if anything has happened regarding your profile, and then direct messages will show up in your inbox. So if you want to create a new message and reach out to someone in the network, you can do it through here or through the actual map feature, which we'll get to in a second. The search bar is actually a really useful tool as well. Let's say you are looking for someone, in the gardening sector. If you type that in, you'll find all people related to gardening, all discussions related to gardening, as well as comments that will pop up. So if someone has gardening listed in the profile, they will show up here. And then in the comment section, it will also pop up. So this is another way of looking for topics that you're really interested in. And then the help toolbar will take you to any additional support through Hylo. There's actually a user guide in here that is very, very useful and has really great information, terms and privacy conditions, and more. But that's really what you want to check out there. So if we go back to our Florida Local Food Network page, I will now dive in a little bit deeper into these tools on the left side. So create is actually going to be one of the biggest things that is going to be helpful for you in the network. Discussion is really straightforward. If you have a question, want to bring up a topic and present it to the network, this is something that you will choose. But we really want to emphasize the request and offer options. With request, let's say that you are, looking for locally sourced or locally grown tomatoes for your restaurant business. You would put in a specific title for what you're looking for as a request. and a description. So you could say that, you know, you are a farm to table restaurant that is, you know, serving up Caribbean style food in the Orlando area. You can add topics in here, up to 3 different topics. So if it's related to restaurants, I would add that tag. If it's related to local food, I would add that tag, and you could add something else like tomato, for instance. If you see that there's a topic that's not already in the system, you can create that topic, but you have to make sure you click create topic, and then it will put it in there for you. I recommend making all of your posts public. This is a feature that will make it public on the entire Hylo map. But it just makes it, you know, so that it will show up everywhere to everyone. Your time frame is a really important feature too for making requests and offers, because let's say you really need these local tomatoes by the end of the month. You could put in here, you know, that the time frame starts today and that it ends January 31st. And you can even put specific times in there as well. And then also listing your location is really important. So if you're based in Orlando, you would select that. And if you have pictures of your menu, your restaurant, anything that you think is related to your request, you could always attach a picture and a file, or you can even send out an announcement. This feature, sending out the announcement, will ping everyone in the network through an email. So it creates a sense of urgency. Same thing for offer. You have the same type of features available to you, but you could even say, you know, instead of you being a farm to table restaurant, you are a farmer in the Tallahassee area trying to, you know, sell direct to restaurants. So, you know, the more description you put in there, the better. I would just replace, you know, the restaurant tag with the farmer tag, and you know, you can update your time frame. I would, for any kind of offers, I would definitely post pictures of the actual product if you are trying to offer food itself. So pictures of these local tomatoes, pictures of a price sheet, anything that's going to be relevant to your, you know, person that you're trying to attract attention to. So that's really the biggest thing I want to point out with these posts, are the requests and offers. And I'll show you where these actually pop up as open requests and offers in the platform. So if I exit out of here and we go to the Explore page, the Explore page is a general overview of the platform. You'll get the big announcements will be shared here. Recently active members will also pop up, in addition to the open requests and offers right here. So anything that's you know, still available and hasn't expired in terms of time frame will be listed in this section. You'll also see the common popular topics and upcoming events, in addition to active projects and the subgroups. So once we go into the projects page, I just want to highlight in here that you have the option of creating your own project. If it's something that you are doing with your organization, with your farm, something that you want to share related to local food that might benefit other people in the network, you're welcome to create the project, you know, in here, and it will post publicly. Something else I wanted to highlight that I didn't get to do in the stream section is that you can change your view of the actual menu. So if you want a more consolidated, I'm sorry, not consolidated view. If you want to see everything, all the details, you would choose the card view, which will give you the big picture, all the details and comments. If you want the more consolidated view, you would check the list view, which kind of gets rid of all visuals and just includes text. My personal preference is the grid views, because that kind of gives you the visuals and a summary of the text. So that makes it a lot easier to kind of filter through and see what's going on each of these pages. And same thing with events. If you are doing an event on your farm, at your restaurant, in your community, and you really want folks to be a part of it, You're welcome to put in your own events in here and promote what you're doing. People can RSVP to these events in here. They can even list that they're interested. They can invite other people that they might think, would really be interested in this event. You can tag folks that you think would be interested. So if I tag Kathy, and hit enter, this will now pop up in her inbox. So there's a lot of different things that you can do to kind of, show people what's going on in your area. And they'll also pop up on the map, which I'll show you guys in just a second. The member directory is another really great feature because you can find everyone that's in the network. Right now, we have people slowly trickling into this network. From the first year of the project, we had over 100 people sign up. So now we have almost 200 people sign up in this part of the year. So we'll just expect these numbers to continue to grow. And so when you scroll down into the member directory, you'll see that they're categorized by name. You can also filter it so that they're categorized by location. And this will do it by the actual name of the city. So there's a couple of different options of viewing people. You can also search for people by skill or, topic. So if you're looking for tropical fruit, for instance, George from Miami pops up. And you'll be able to click on his profile, learn what foods he's selling. Again, look at his affiliations. He's part of the North American Fruit Explorers, South Florida Palm Society, a lot of different, organizations that might be of interest to you. So that's the really nice thing about the member directory. And like I said, your tagline will pop up in the member directory. As you can see here, Alicia, you'll see marketing communication specialist at Florida Organic Growers. So that's why we recommend you put that in your tagline so that people can see it immediately in the member directory. And then when we have groups actually in the network as well. So there are public groups and there are private groups. So I'll tell you a little bit about the public groups. These are brand new groups that are basically interest groups. So anyone that's really passionate about subjects that they feel would benefit from, having their own group, having their own community space, collaborative space to talk and share resources. This is what the group section is for. I also envision that these dots are going to continue to expand over the next couple of years. Food recovery and seed saving are now the two public groups if you want to be a part of those. If there are other topics that you feel very passionate about and want to start your own group, you certainly can do that. I just want to point out that the groups will start a fresh slate on the Hylo platform. So you'll have a fresh stream page, a fresh events page. So any events very specific to food recovery can be listed in here. Members, again, it's all gonna kind of refresh. So it'll be a new place for you to start talking about this particular subject and niche area. The private group is set up for those who have projects such as SE Top, which stands for the Southeast Transition to Organic Partnership Program. This is specifically for 30 partners that are across the Southeast region of the United States and are, only open to those partners. So the reason for it being private is because only those folks can actually enter and access that group. So if you are also part of an organization and feel like you would still like to have a group but keep it private, that is another option for you as well. Now, one of the best features in this platform is the map. So when we zoom in a little bit into the state of Florida, you'll see that there's a lot of dots all across the state, which is really exciting. And the purple dots represent actual people in the network. And the orange dots, if you zoom in a little bit closer, are going to be events. So like I said, if you create an event and put a location and make it public, it will pop up on the map as well. You can click on people through the map feature as well. If you zoom in, it'll show you exactly who's in that area. on the right-hand side of your screen, you'll see the members listed in that way. So there's a lot of different things you could do with the map. There's also different filters. So on the bottom right-hand corner of the map, you'll see that you can have a street view or even a satellite view. So there's, different aesthetics that have been built into this. And that's quite a nice feature to kind of, have something more appealing if that's important to you. So the last couple of things I want to point out are the link to our Florida Local Food Project page. This is where most of you that have signed up went to. So if I click on this, just want to quickly show those of you that are new that if you wanted to sign up, you can do so through this embedded form on the Florida Local Food Project page. Once you submit this form, you will receive an automatic email. Now we have that officially set up so that you can get the invite to join the network. And then our resources page is just an easier way to access the resources. We've culminated all of them and added that as a separate tab. So you'll be able to see all of the resources on this page just for easy access and convenience. One other thing is that the topics are going to be located on the bottom left corner of the screen. So if you want to, access anything that you see here that is really interesting to you, instead of looking at it through the search bar, they're all, clickable. So you can click on grower, for instance, and find that there's a grant related to growers. So that's a really useful way of finding resources as well. So that pretty much sums up the training for the Florida Local Food Network. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
Do we see my screen again or no?
Not yet.
Oh. Beautiful. Here we go.
Perfect. So I know what I just covered was a lot to consume. So what I've done here is I've put together kind of a recap of what I just went through using one key actor example of a tropical craft yogurt entrepreneur. So this has 6 key steps. Number 1 is that we have an entrepreneur looking to source local fruit and local dairy as ingredients for their yogurt. Number 2 is that they receive the network invitation, they sign up on the network, get approved, and start learning how the functions work, set up their notifications. Number 3, they'll create their profile, add all the information to maximize their chances for other folks to connect. Number 4, they will add their introduction to the welcome thread that is pinned in the stream. And then number 5, you will be, searching for members in the directory or on the map to connect to for business opportunities. And then number 6, you will be able to look at the subgroups that exist, join any of them that might interest you, and start contributing with a post. I do want to note that for anyone who is in the nonprofit sector and is promoting local food, offers and requests can still be made for, say, grants, funding, surveys, and other opportunities. So with that, that really wraps it all up for the Florida Local Food Network. I really am truly excited to have you guys join us on this one-of-a-kind knowledge sharing and skill building network of people who are really actively engaged and doing great work across the local food system. One more thing to quickly reiterate before we enter our networking circles is that this network, like I mentioned, is accessible via phone app. If you just type in Hylo into your app store, you'll be able to access that for free. It, is really useful and convenient for those that are just wanting to do it in their daily commute, making offers and requests right from your phone, updating your profile, RSVPing to upcoming events, and really so much more.
Lana, we have a couple questions in the chat about trying to find the direct link for the group, and folks are having trouble finding that. Is there a way you could go to Hylo and show us how to get to the Florida Local Food Network?
Yeah, absolutely. So let me quickly share my screen again. Okay. So once you guys are in the Hylo website and you've officially joined, you have to click the top left 3 lines that show up as an icon on your screen. Once you click that, you'll find that it shows My Groups, and under My Groups, it should say Florida Local Food Network. So once you click on Florida Local Food Network, it will open up the home page. For some of you that are just joined, you might have not yet been accepted into the network. So if there might be a little bit of a waiting period before you can access it directly. But if you are already accepted and you're in the actual platform, you just need to click on those top 3 lines on the left and then find it under My Groups. So if anyone's having issues with that, we can always set up a separate call and go through that together. I also want to mention that every month we will be starting a networking call, so to allow for new folks joining the network to meet other members and really have an opportunity to share their needs and skills. We'll also have the opportunity to answer questions about the platform, so please be on the lookout for those events and RSVP once you're in the network. And in just a moment, Kathy will be sharing breakout rooms that you can choose from. The 2 options are going to be the storytelling circle and the ask and offer circle. The first will be a really good opportunity to share your background and what you hope to contribute, whereas the second will be highlighting your needs and skills more specifically and is geared towards those who want to start off with knowledge sharing. So Kathy and I will be in different rooms and we'll have 15 minutes for our networking sessions. And we'll ask each group to have a note taker who kind of will report afterwards with overall findings. And we'll ask for you guys to share that in the chat as well before we wrap up today's training. So Kathy, if you want to pull up those, the slide on the networking rooms.
Do you not see it on your end?
No, not yet. The breakout rooms did just pop up though.
Yep. Thought I was sharing my screen.
So I'm going to put in the chat so that everyone can see what the different rooms are for.
And feel free, so in order to join this, you're able to choose between them. So you'll want to click on the 3 buttons that say more and then access join room, and you can click each one. So some of you have already joined, some of them, and other ones, just one has joined.
Yes, everyone, please pick a room that you would like to be a part of, and we will spend 15 minutes in those rooms and then come back and report on what we found. Kathy, I'm going to enter the ask and offer room.
Okay.
Oh, I just realized I was muted. I was just sending you a message, Emily, to make sure that you had access to the window to join the room. So
Yes, got it. Had to poke
Yeah.
around. I'm good.
Oh, good, good, good. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
So for this room, the ask and offer, we really want to talk about, what skills you guys have that you envision offering to the network, and also what needs you have. So if there are specific needs that you are looking to address by being a part of this network, we ask that you share those as well. So if you guys want to go around, introduce yourselves, I'll give you each a chance to talk about who you are, what place in Florida you're from, and then some of those needs and skills that you're looking to share. So Emily, I'm gonna call on you since you have your screen unmuted.
Hi everyone. For those of you who I haven't had the chance to meet, and I think Lana, you're the only one. My name's Emily. I'm with Means Database, which is a food recovery nonprofit and platform. And I'm hoping really just to be connected, to continue to get kind of our name out there. We offer everything completely for free. So if that's a farm, that does a farm stand, every Saturday, and they don't know what to do with their excess produce because it's not going to work well for their next farm stand 3 days later. Like, what do you do with that? So, obviously it can be composted, but can also, if it's still in decent shape, be donated. So that's what our platform does, is help to connect food vendors with nonprofits that would be interested in that excess food. And so I think mostly for this group, it would be, connecting with farms primarily. And if there's anyone else, obviously, on the platform that is a food vendor of some kind and wants to figure out how to share that excess when something is not sold, I'm here to kind of help facilitate that. So that's hat one. And then hat two, I chair the Florida Food Recovery Coalition. So I think I might be using Hylo as well to kind of nudge, in case there's any folks that are working or are interested, to just be a part of that. We meet virtually once a month, and are doing a lot of cool things getting ready for Food Waste Prevention Week 2024, which is April 1st through the 7th. So stuff happening all across the state, and then also nationwide, some cool stuff going on too. So yeah, I'm gonna wear multiple hats. I think that's my short, my long but short answer. So
That's awesome. I mean, I really think you're such a key actor in this network because we have tons of excess food that never gets redirected. And I think, it's essential to this kind of community. So thank you so much, Emily, for being here. I'd like to call on Connie.
Hello. So
Hi.
I'm Connie Maxwell, and I work for Florida Organic Growers, and I am in my third day of working for Florida Organic Growers.
Congrats.
And I am the new virtual market online farmers market coordinator. And we have 4 farmers markets that we coordinate getting farmers and customers together and then delivering at the farmers market. So I don't know that I have a lot to offer right now, but at least I'm out there. I'm also on the board of directors at the Alachua County Farmers Market, where I vend as a vegetable starts nursery. And so I coach homesteaders and homeowners and would-be gardeners and transplants from the north on the conditions and climate of gardening in Florida at my farmers market booth on Saturday mornings.
Wow. Is that a separate business, like a consulting business that you offer, Connie?
No, I just stand in my booth and sell plants and tell them how to keep them alive.
Well, it sounds like you could probably benefit from a consulting business. That sounds great.
Thanks.
Well, it's also nice to meet you. I realize we haven't even gotten a chance to meet. So
yeah,
great to see you face to face.
Thank you.
All right. Louis or Louise? you're available.
Hey everyone, yeah, I just tried to mute myself to make it easier on people. My name is Luis Neves Ruiz. I'm currently the Director of Economic Development for a Council of Governments, the Central Florida Regional Planning Council located in Orlando. My sort of like association with food systems a little different. I mainly come from the research side and the grants side. I've been working now doing food system assessments in our region for about, I would spend about 7 years approximately
Wow.
doing that. And that had led me to be involved with a couple of projects like nationally. I'm involved with with the Council of Development Finance Agencies. They have a food systems group. And more recently, I've been working with the Tax Foundation, which is the national foundation that create the first like policy grant program for food policy councils. So we're going to be launching that hopefully this Friday. So it gets
Wow.
really interesting work.
That's wonderful. And I missed when you first started talking, I heard you say Regional Planning Council in Orlando. Is it a food policy?
No. It's a council of governments, yes.
Okay.
Basically, we have 8 member counties. And ours is the East Central Florida, which is in Orlando. We're located in Orlando.
Awesome. Okay. And when you talk about food system assessments, what do those actually encapsulate? What does that cover?
Well, basically what we've been doing, and we've been perfecting it every time we do it, we are trying to look mainly at the food production system and actually start looking at what are kind of understanding who's who. So we recently, for example, my last grant was in 2020. We did a food resiliency study for Central Florida for the food production system. So we identified the farms, processors, and distributors located in Central Florida, and we were able to get a couple of metrics, a couple of mapping. It's really intense work, very different. It's like I don't really grow or cook any food, but I research and I really do it pretty well, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that part of the food system is also quite critical, having the folks that are doing the research and behind the scenes trying to help us navigate things a little bit better. So when you talk about mapping, is it like GIS mapping?
GIS mapping, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We
Awesome.
developed a database about 600 establishments. And what is really interesting is that we're able to actually look at more of the strengths and weaknesses of food, because you have to think about food, you have to think it as a system, you know what I mean? We're not really going to the restaurant side, but there were some really interesting findings. Like for example, a lot of organizations, they want you to do a food hub. And that's kind of like the baby goal to get a food hub. I can tell you based on our analysis, I don't think that we really have enough growers to really sustain like a good food hub. And it was because of that project. And what I really like about this organization is that it's basically, you're doing a really good job of connecting people from all over, and hopefully we'll be able to because there's a lot of money in food right now.
Yeah.
It's just that in Florida, we're really behind in a lot of respects. So we certainly, I see this as an opportunity to start connecting with some folks statewide.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're really glad to have you here, Louis. And I think the same, we're hoping that this will be a hub that will really attract folks from all over the state and start to, shift the culture a little bit, because I definitely see that we're also a little bit behind. So I want to give some time also for Kalina and Jessica. So if either of you can introduce yourselves and tell us about what you do.
Hello.
Nice to see you, Jessica.
Hey, can you guys hear me? I'm kind of in an echo spot. Nice to see y'all too. Okay. So last time, I don't know if you guys got introduced to Mr. Hank. That's Mr. Hank. That's the
Hi,
guy
Mr.
who
Hank.
pays for everything.
Mhm.
Some of the people that you see back here, are my woofers. So that's another program,
Oh, very
where you
cool.
have volunteers come out to your farm. And so yeah, it's pretty cool. Also World Network kind of stuff for people that need labor. And you can teach them that farming stuff too.
The acronym stands for Worldwide Organization of Organic Farmers. Started in London, England in 1970.
Yeah, been around for a minute. So that's a program that we just got into. Some of you guys know me. We already introduced ourselves, but I'm Jessica. I'm farm manager at Ellison Acres. We do 219 acres. Not everything is in production. We have 31 in production of organic blueberries, planted 5, which makes it 36 acres. We have mayhaws not in production yet, but they're still growing. About 5 acres of experimental field of blackberries, strawberries. Going to plant some cut flowers. We have Christmas trees that aren't ready yet. And we're rehabbing an old farmhouse. So that's a little bit of what we got going on.
Awesome. And Jessica, you guys are based in the Tallahassee area, right?
North Central Florida, between Tallahassee and Lake City.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I love that you guys just got into woofing. I think that's a really great thing to, incorporate into your operation. And I'm so excited to actually also hopefully work with you guys to do an event up there and attract some more folks. I know we only have 40 seconds left. So Kalina, if you have anything to say, please unmute yourself now.
Hi, really quick. I'm in the Tampa Bay area. I like to think of myself as an educator. I really want to be that person that bridges between like the general public and what we've got going on as part of institutions, and just being that person that connects the two. Yeah, so I don't have a whole lot of time for much else, but.
Well, I'm sorry about that timing. I'm gonna give you an opportunity if you want in the chat to add some more information about what you do, but I would love to hear more, and get to know you a little bit better.
Yeah, thanks. It's nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you all. We'll be joining the group. Wow, those few minutes seem to go by pretty fast.
Lickety split, I tell ya. So welcome back, everyone, and thank you for joining those networking groups. If you found that valuable and made some connections, go ahead and shoot off all those reaction emojis that I have been playing with this whole time. And now I'd like to move forward as we're wrapping this up to provide some additional resources. So we have some upcoming events. The first event is the first event actually for the project that will take place in Miami on Saturday, February 10th from 9 to 2. This event aims to showcase collaborations among our key food actors, joining community together for this unique experience. Then in April, we have the Return of Fogs Summit, which will take place in Tampa. The 2-day event will include farm tours and conference sessions. Right now, we have our early bird discount tickets available, as well as an additional discount code for our network members like you. Just DM Lana once you're in the network, and she'll give you the code. Additionally, we have our Fresh Take podcast, an opportunity to be a guest speaker, which Lana is coordinating for that opportunity. And also, as I mentioned in my breakout room, as the event coordinator, I am the lead for planning the in-person events, which are the farm events, food celebration events, as well as the symposium. So if you are someone who would like to be a host location or directly be a part of these events, please do reach out to me so that we can set a meeting to discuss. in and move forward on that opportunity. Before we wrap up today, we want to conduct one more poll to see what types of topics you might benefit from at the next upcoming virtual trainings. We'll use these findings in addition to the needs and barriers we've collected to determine the topics for these trainings. Launch that poll. 1 second. The poll.
I got you, Kathy.
Oh, you did launch it?
Yep.
Oh, beautiful. Additionally, please feel free to ask any other questions that you may have at this time by unmuting yourself or posting those questions in the chat. To stay connected, I've put our contact information so we have direct lines to us as well as our emails. And if you'd like, and we encourage you to follow us on social media, it will be FL Organic Growers.
Let me know, Kathy, if you'd like me to end the poll. I have,
Oh,
it looks like three people have filled it out so far.
Okay. Well, we are concluded our event. So any of you, please feel free. We'll be able to still collect that. And if you had any additional questions, I think we answered the questions that were in the meeting itself.
Right. It looks like 5 have filled it out. So I'm just gonna end the poll and share those results. Let me know if you could see those on your end, Kathy.
I don't see it on my end. Just the way I have my new screen minimized. So if you wanted to state some of the results or what was most likely interested.
It looks like we have someone that said a virtual training on how to use Hylo effectively. I can't think of any trainings at the moment, but definitely more opportunities to connect and network. So for that person, please, again, make sure you RSVP to our upcoming monthly networking calls. We have someone else that responded, maybe processing would be a topic that they would benefit from. Someone else said would like to have more input on diversification on small farms under 300 acres. Another person said how to reach out to more of the community. And the last answer was more networking. So sounds like the networking portion is really benefiting a lot of people. And I'm glad that we are going to have that, set up monthly for everyone. So please stay tuned on those upcoming events. It'll likely be every third Thursday of the month. So we'll share those as soon as we can.
And
Any
with
other
that,
questions?
I was going to say.
Sorry to interrupt you, Kathy.
No, I was going to say, and with that, I thank everyone for attending today. We will wrap this event up, but please do feel free to reach out to us via our emails and communication so that we can answer any additional questions you might have. Thanks everyone for coming.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. And then Lana, stop recording.